Hey guys, welcome back to We Watched Movie. I am Mike, and this is a Scream 7 trailer breakdown. I'm so excited. We finally have it. They said that it was going to get pushed back because of the Stranger Things trailer, to which I was like, don't let that little whiny bowl-haired stop us from getting our Scream trailer, and they didn't. It came out today. It's here. We're going to break it all down now. I did a live stream earlier with a full first-time watch reaction. It was really fun, exciting. I'll put that at the end of this. Check it out. And make sure you subscribe for all your future Scream 7 updates. It's going to be a fun ride, guys. This was awesome. Let's get into it. So it starts out with Jimmy Tatro, who's a guy I think he's funny, showing up to Stu's house, which is now an Airbnb. This is the first meta thing that you get because Stu's house is an Airbnb in real life that's attached to the Scream franchise. Now, I think that they could tie this into a killer motive where, because in this trailer, he ends up burning the house down, right? And he's like, I'm going to burn it all down. They could tie this into the killer's motive where he's like tired of the world commercializing horror and true crime the way it does. Now, it's a very Ghostface thing for motives, even though we don't need a motive because it's the millennium. You know what I'm talking about. But he could be like, yeah, you know, the Ryan Murphys of the world or the Stabs of the world. And now we're renting out Airbnbs at places where horrific massacres of teenagers took place. Or maybe this is someone who knew someone or was related to, or is Stu, that someone who died in the home, and they want to murder off everybody for their part in commercializing this. There's a lot of different places you could take that if you wanted to. We'll have several theories as we go on. But anyways, listen to the way that they do Ghostface's voice right here. This will come into play several times throughout the trailer, but listen to it. It's strange. It sounds like he's starting to say hello, but it just sounds weird, almost robotic. You could say it's an AI thing, but it also sounds kind of Darth Vader-y. We'll talk about that more as we go forward. I love that the trailer opens up with a literal Ghostface fight and chase scene. I feel like Kevin Williamson and company is going to bring those back with a vengeance in this movie for sure, because it already starts out that way. Now, the chandelier scene, this is great. She trips, falls, lands on his knife. Kind of reminds me of the scene in Seven, you know, where he's like, oh, it's open. So I fucked her. I don't think that this is going to be the opening scene. It feels like it, but I think Kevin Williamson and company have more surprises than that up their sleeve than to just show it to us like this.
Hello?
Hello, Sidney. Did you miss me?
I want to point out, she doesn't look that concerned going up to this house. This isn't her house where her children are inside or anything like that. I thought it was Stu's house at the beginning for a second there. You can't really tell, but it kind of looks like a Woodsboro style house, like a big kind of fancy house that would be in Woodsboro. But if you notice, wherever it is, all these people know who she is immediately. All the crowd turns and they're taking pictures of Sidney, who doesn't again looks that upset. I wonder who died in this house to really kick things off.
Nice little town you found.
I can't put my finger in exactly what this small town has specifically to do with the plot other than Sidney going away to a small town, but Ghostface mentions the town.
You and your pretty daughter.
Hey, she's a teenager, pal. Don't be a pervert. What is this, The Crush with Alicia?
Reminds me of where we grew up.
Reminds me of where we grew up, which, you know where I'm going with that. I'm going straight to Stu Town with that one for sure, but it could be in anything. All this is telling us is that the killer wants her, at least, to believe that they grew up together, or at least in the same town. But, you know, it's fucking Stu. There's McKenna Grace right there for all of you teeny boppers. I know you're excited. Some people want her to be the killer. I would hate that. To me, she has more like opening kill type of potential, but you know, we'll see. It's like Scream 4. They were both tiny. Both the guy and the girl were tiny. I can't believe that they were picking people up and, you know, pile driving them through gigantic stained glass windows. That just didn't make any sense to me.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Okay, so here's where we get into my second big theory. Is this just Stu as the killer out in the open with no mystery? Think about it. They announced Stu. They announced Matthew Lillard's going to return without it trying to hide it at all, which is smart because there were so many people behind the scenes with cameras taking pictures. If Stu's going to be the killer, if he's going to return, by the way, I understand he hasn't been in jail this entire time. If he returns, it has to be because he faked his death and so on and so forth, rich parents. Think about what he said here.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sidney.
What if Kevin Williamson and company's big meta twist is that they're not going to do a Scooby-Doo adventure this time around? This is strange. This is subverting the franchise tropes. This is flipping horror and Scream specifically on its head. It's Stu. I'm telling you who I am, and I'm telling you that I'm coming after you. The mystery could just be figuring out how he's still alive, and that could be slowly unveiled. The dialogue is literally about him trying to tell her who he or she is, and it's not in hiding this time. And then later in the voice, we're going to get Stu's. Later in the trailer, we're going to get Stu. I'm so excited. I'm getting things confused. Get it up. That's a thought. It's a fucking thought. I kind of hate how she just immediately kicks him in the face here. Just a quick Judy chop to the face. You know, I want him to scare her a little bit more than just immediate running into her foot. But to be fair, Ghostface was kind of clumsy like that in the first movie. Oh my God, we're back at the Stu theory again. Because you know who was clumsy? Stu. Stu would have ran right into her fucking foot. Here we go again, Mike. Get some help. Stop it. But you know, it does make sense that she's trained in self-defense as long as we don't go the Laurie Strode 2018 route. Oh my God, she has a panic room. I understand that, but it's not a super crazy David Fincher style panic room. It's more of like just that one little room and then kind of Home Alone-ish and how they have to sneak through the walls or whatever. You'd be silly to think that Sidney Prescott wouldn't have gotten some Krav Maga lessons at this point. You'd be silly to think that she didn't have some protection for her family there and that giant cannon that she carries around like Dr. Loomis in Halloween 4. But as long as they don't go too far into it, since we've seen it done so many times with horror requels and things like that before, I think we're good. And here we get back to the breathing. Why did he breathe like that? First off, I don't love the shot. I'll be honest with you, Kevin, I'm so excited, but I don't love this shot. His forehead's too prevalent in some of these scenes. You got to pull that hood down a little bit. I'm not seeing the glisten either. I kind of thought the cinematography was also going to look, I was going to feel more of a original Scream in it. I'm not so far getting that yet. It's a little bit modern. But yeah, these are tiny little knickknacks here and there for sure. However, what is this breath right here? Very Darth Vader-ish, and someone brought up in the live stream that we did today, which is why those are so fun, because you guys have so many cool ideas, that what if that is Stu, and he's breathing that way because he had a zenith dropped on his chest. You know, he was stabbed. You cut me a little deep here, Billy. He was stabbed. He had a zenith dropped on his chest. What if the injuries he survived left him with, an issue with his lung or the way he breathes or whatever? And that could be why Ghostface sounds, because doesn't he, Roger Jackson in this, he sounds a little bit different. He sounds a little strange, a little different. And you've got this like Darth Vader-y type of voice.
If you hurt her, I'm not going to hurt her.
I love the way, first off, Ghostface looks badass when he runs out right here. I love that. But I love the way he talks to her with sass. I'm not going to hurt her. But you know who that sounds like? And again, I'm not saying this is the situation, but a guy who survived a movie called Scream 2, who said a little line like, "Yes, I got that on film."
I'm not going to hurt her.
Either way, I love how sassy he was.
Until you're here to see it.
Let's unmask this fucker.
We got Gale showing up finally in the trailer. Very small part in the trailer. She shows up along with Mindy, along with Chad, who we then go to a bar scene where they and one other bar patron are attacked by Ghostface. Now, it'd be easy to sit here and say, oh, they definitely die here. This is the only time we see them. This looks like a pretty gnarly scene. But on the other hand, this could be the scene that got them to contact Gale and ended up with the three of them going out to where Nev Campbell was. So I don't know if this is their death scene. It very well could be. Could be the opening scene. Again, we don't know. But most importantly, pay attention to whose voice this is.
All your friends died for just being near you.
Deputy Dewey Riley himself. Now, it's interesting what he says here, where he's like, everyone, all your friends who come around you die. Now, I think a lot of people are going to go straight to the AI thing with this. Okay, this is the killer using AI voices of people from Nev's past, from Sidney's past, trying to use their voices to haunt her with them. And that does make sense. But they also could have gone a Scream 3 route like they did with Randy and the VHS tape. This could be, look, they kind of walked over Dewey's grave a little quick for me in Scream 6, right? Gale herself's already dating some security guard who sucks at his job, by the way, and it's just moved on. I wouldn't mind if they took a little stroll down memory lane here and had some sort of video from Dewey to Gale or some part of that story. That could be why David Arquette was cast in that role for sure. Or it could be AI. And you know what? If they did write him still alive and he faked his death, I personally and made it a twin brother, I don't give a shit. I know it's dumb. It's silly. We saw Chad get turned into a fucking pincushion and he survived. So at this point, if they can right the wrong of killing Dewey in 5, I really just it's a mulligan, dude. I don't give a fuck how stupid it is. I don't think they'll do it. I'm just saying, if somehow he is really back, muy bien. Now look away if you don't want this next bit of the movie, this next kill spoiled for you, because I'm 90% sure they just Universal Blumhouse does Halloween 2018 and like every Universal movie and showed us the death of Mark right here. And I love the throwback to Lethal Weapon 3, them fighting in the unfinished house or whatever. But if you watch this, it's clear that Ghostface stabs him somewhere very uncomfortable, not unlike the backseat of a Volkswagen. And I think he definitely dies in this, because we're not going to get, one thing I can guarantee you, we are not going to get people stabbed a bunch of times and surviving in this movie. Not after 6. I think they're very aware that they played that card and are done with it. So I'm pretty sure he's definitely dead here. We'll see him later in the trailer getting dragged around covered in blood. I'm pretty sure they spoiled that. Which, what the fuck, guys? Come on.
Where is my daughter?
So next up, we have this little set piece in the trailer that's sort of interesting. We have Neve Campbell, Sidney Prescott running up to the town. Looks like Ghostface got her pulled away from the town, away from her daughter with some of his hijinks, that silly fuck. And she's running towards the town, but look at it. It's a complete and total ghost town. I realize it's supposed to be a small town, but there's no cars. There's no parked cars. There's no anything. I find that weird. I don't know what's up with this town. We get a little bit of Ransom, Mel Gibson type situation with the, where's the money? Give me back my son.
Where is my daughter?
She's stuck on her phone trying to help her daughter, Isabel May, escape Ghostface. Now, I have a theory about this scene. It looks intense and whatnot. I have a theory about this scene where she shoots Ghostface and he pops up just like, you know, when the way Dewey died, trying to shoot him in the head. He pops up. I got an H2O Michael Myers voice box type situation feeling going on here. I don't think that's Ghostface. I think that Ghostface is fucking with them both and he's somewhere else killing someone else important to her. And we're going to find out that her daughter's going to be fucked up because she just shot someone innocent. So we got some quick shots of Ghostface getting the drop on Bar Girl. Ghostface gets the drop on a lot of people in this. He's like a fucking gazelle. You get a quick shot of Ghostface getting thrown through one of the storefront windows. And again, Mark being dragged around dead as shit. Sorry, Joel McHale.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother.
This shot's weird to me because Gale just dropped an F-bomb earlier in the trailer. You know what I mean? What if she wasn't saying motherfucker? What if she was saying mother? What if the killer is the ghost of Maureen Prescott's vagina? The one that started all this to begin with. Flashing her shit around town like she was Sharon Stone or something. Let's face it, Sid. She was no Sharon Stone.
This is gonna be fun.
The voice of fucking Stu, finally, perfect. They know what we wanted. They know what we wanted, and they know how important it is. And I think that we may be, I think it may have happened. I think this might be happening. The voice is weirdly cut off here too, in that strange kind of trailery way.
This is gonna be fun.
And you wonder if that's because you hear that sort of roboticness over top of it, that, as we were talking about earlier, comes from his previous injuries. And they figured, okay, well, if we let it linger, they'll be able to hear it. Maybe I'm being, a Cracker Jack box here. All signs lead to Stu, and I love it. And I hope you guys enjoy this trailer breakdown. I hope you guys have an amazing Halloween. I'll put the live stream we did at the end of this so you can watch that. If you don't want the fun to stop, Jim, hope you guys have an amazing day. And yeah, Stu fucking lives, pal.